Standard 7th, Subject Civics, Chapter 2, Preamble to the Constitution. What we learned in the previous chapter? Let's have a look. First, the Constitution is an important document clarifying the rules of administration. The Constituent Assembly made the Constitution of India. Our representatives have to carry out the administration as per the law laid down by the Constitution. So let us learn more about the Constitution. A Constitution is the fundamental and the highest law of the land. There are definite aims or purposes in making any law. Basic provisions in the law are made after clarifying these objectives. A systematic arrangement of all the aims and objectives of a law is the preface to the law. The preface to the Indian Constitution is called the preamble. The preamble sets out the objectives of our Constitution. So you can see the Constitution of India and the preamble here. We all are Indian citizens. The preamble tells us what we all have to achieve as a people. The values, thoughts, and ideas in it are noble. The entire Constitution lays down the provisions through which these goals are to be realized. So, the preamble is a part of the Constitution of India. Now, let us have a look at the preamble. The preamble begins with the words, "We, the people of India." It talks about the resolve of the Indians to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. We shall now understand the meanings of each of these terms. First, sovereign state. India was ruled by Britain for a long period. The British rule ended on 15th August 1947. Our country became independent. India became sovereign. We are now free to take decisions as we think fit in our own country. The word sovereign means that a state is not under the control of a foreign power. So now we are not ruled by anyone else but representatives whom we ourselves elect. The most important goal of our freedom struggle was to acquire sovereignty. Sovereignty means the ultimate authority to govern yourself. In a democracy, the sovereignty rests with the people. The people elect their representatives and grant them the permission to exercise sovereign authority on their behalf. Thus, the Constitution reflects the principle of popular sovereignty, and the government elected by the people makes laws on behalf of the people. So, as you see in the picture, the power is to the people. Okay, and the people elect their representatives who take the authority to rule our country on our behalf. So it's not that we are ruled by someone, by some foreign power. No, we are independent nation now, and the sovereignty states that we can choose our leaders. Second point, socialist state. A socialist state is such a state where the gap between the rich and the poor is minimum. All have a right over the wealth of the country. It is ensured that wealth is not concentrated in the hands of a few people. So, socialist state is a state where there is minimum gap between the rich and the poor. Third point is secular state. The preamble states secularism as one of our goals. In a secular state, all religions are considered as equal. You can see the first picture on top. We are one. Different religions, but we are one. No one religion is considered to be the state religion. The citizens are free to follow their own religion. State cannot discriminate among citizens on the basis of religion. So you see the second picture. Our country, India, has many religions like Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, Sikhism, Islam, Christianity, and many more. Okay, see how beautifully the word Indian depicts that we are one in spite of the differences in us, in spite of different religions and cultures. India is the land of secularism, where all religions are considered equal, not no importance is given to a particular religion. All have their own priorities and importance. Do you know we have endeavored to preserve the multi-religious nature of our society? We cannot exercise the rights given to us by a constitution in an unrestrained manner. In an unrestrained manner means without following the rules and regulations. The same is true of religious freedoms as well. Wherever we celebrate a festival, we are required to be concerned about public cleanliness, health, and the environment. So we should not damage any public property or our environment when we are celebrating our festivals. Okay, so we should also keep in mind the social concern, the well-being of everyone around us, and do not cause any inconvenience to others when we celebrate our festivals. Okay, so we have covered up 3 points: sovereign state, socialist state, and secular state. Now let's move to the fourth one: democratic state. In the first picture on top, you can see that democracy is of the people, by the people, for the people. Okay, so let's learn about the democratic state. In a democracy, the sovereign power is in the hands of the people. Government makes decisions and draws up policies in keeping with the people's wishes. So people are considered important here. Government has to take important financial, social, and other decisions to promote common welfare. So you hear many a times the government announces some policies in the well-being of the farmers or the poor, okay, or the marginalized. So these are some welfare policies which are taken up for the betterment of people. All the people are not able to come together and take such decisions on a day-to-day basis. Therefore, elections are conducted after a fixed period when voters elect their representatives. So you are aware about Indian elections. You can see in the picture how the voting mark is done on the finger, indicating that the vote has been conducted. Okay, so these representatives sit in the institutions created by the constitution, like the parliament or legislature, and the executive. They take decisions for the entire population as per the procedure laid down by the constitution. So though we elect our representatives, they are not free to do anything of their own will. They have to follow the procedure or the guidelines which are given in the constitution. So that's all about democratic state. Now let's move on to the fifth point, that is republic. Along with being a democracy, we are a republic. All public positions in a republic are elected by the people. Okay, so people only elect the positions, all the representatives. No public position is occupied on the basis of hereditary succession. Suppose a person is in a position after he completes his tenure, it doesn't mean that his son or daughter will take the position. No, it's not on the basis of hereditary. Okay, the positions like the president, the prime minister, the governor, the chief minister, the mayor, the sarpanch, etc. are public positions. Any Indian citizen fulfilling the prescribed age criterion can get himself or herself elected to any of these positions. Okay, so Indian citizen is eligible to stand for elections. Whereas in a monarchy, these positions can be occupied by members of a single family following the principle of heredity. Now, what is monarchy? Like a king or a queen is ruling a kingdom or an empire, and then after the king or the queen, her son, their son or daughter, they will take the position. That means members of family rule a particular kingdom or an empire. That is called monarchy. So we are democratic nation. We do not follow monarchy. Okay. So these are the 5 important points which are mentioned in the preamble, that India is a sovereign state, socialist state, secular state, democratic state, and a republic. Let's discuss. Read what Deepa has written on the topic My Family. Democracy does not only imply elections. My parents do all household work together. We also participate in it. We ensure that we talk cordially with each other. Even if we happen to fight, we try to listen to each other's views by stopping the fight as soon as possible. If any change has to be made, even the grandparents are consulted. Anuja wants to take up agricultural research as her career. Her decision was appreciated by everybody. Now, do you think that Deepa's house functions in a democratic way? Yes, definitely. Which features of democracy can be found in this passage? Yes, the right, the democracy to make a choice, okay, and then the elders are consulted. So, this way, we see many points are there which are related to our daily life. We follow democracy in day to day life. The preamble has guaranteed the Indian citizens the 3 values of justice, liberty, and equality. Even fraternity is a point which we will study at the end of this chapter. It has enjoined upon the Indian citizens to practice these values and make laws in keeping with these values. Let us understand these values. So we will begin with the 4 points. First, justice, then liberty, third, equality, and fourth, fraternity. So let's start with justice. Justice implies removal of injustice and ensuring that everybody has the opportunity for progress. Establishing justice is adopting such policies that will promote public good. 3 types of justice are talked of in the preamble. They are as follows. Social justice. Okay, the 3 types of justice that are there in the preamble, we are going to study them one by one. Social justice, economic justice, and political justice. So let's know more about social justice. There should be no discrimination among individuals on the basis of caste, creed, race, language, region, place of birth, or sex. As human beings, all have the right to the same dignity and respect, the same status. Means two people cannot be discriminated on the basis of their caste. Okay, whether they are whichever caste they belong to, if they want to suppose apply for a position, or they are applying for a office, if there is a vacancy in any office, so based on caste or based on the sex, whether they are male or female, they should not be discriminated. Opportunity should be given to all. Okay, so this is called social justice. Second, economic justice. Poverty leads to the evils of hunger deaths, or malnourishment. If poverty is to be eradicated, everyone should have the right to a source of livelihood so as to look after oneself and one's family. So everyone should get a chance to earn livelihood means to take up a job and earn a living. Our constitution has given this right to every citizen without any discrimination. So, economic justice is related to wealth or money where everyone has a right to earn. Okay. And third is our political justice. We have adopted universal adult franchise to enable equal participation in the running of the country. Accordingly, all citizens completing 18 years of age have the right to vote in elections. Means once a person, an Indian citizen, completes 18 years, he can vote and be a part of the civic life. Okay, so we covered up the 3 points of justice, which were social justice, economic justice, and political justice. Now let's learn about liberty. What does the word liberty mean? Liberty implies that there should be no coercive, unfair restrictions upon us, and that there should be an atmosphere conducive to the development of our inherent capacities. Means, in short, freedom. In a democracy, citizens enjoy liberty. In fact, democracy becomes mature only if citizens enjoy freedom. Okay, so if there is freedom, then our democracy can be well maintained. Freedom of thought and expression is the most fundamental freedom for an individual. Everyone is free to express their own views and opinions. A give and take of ideas enhances the spirit of cooperation and unity amongst us. Similarly, it also enables us to understand the various dimensions of any problem. Today, we see around us many social problems are there. People are facing problems. Okay, so one should talk, express. Freedom of expression is given to us. So we should express. We see some cases of suicide which are quite disturbing. Okay, people don't express themselves and their problems remain with them, and at the end it takes a very different route which is not good. So we must be aware of our rights, our duties, and accordingly make use of it. Okay, so always express yourself. You have the freedom of thought and expression, but that doesn't mean you will go on speaking meaninglessly or without any sense. No, whatever we talk, it has to be sensible and for the betterment or the progress of the nation. So we should take these points positively and accordingly imply them in our life. Okay. The liberty of belief, faith, and worship implies religious freedom. Every Indian citizen is free to act as per the teachings of their religion or the religion of their choice. It implies the freedom of celebrating the festivals and the freedom of faith and worship. This point you have already learned in secularism, that we are free to enjoy any faith and worship the God that we want to follow and the religion that we want to follow in our life. So we are free, we are given that freedom of religion and to celebrate our festivals. Okay, but by abiding to the rules and regulations, we have to keep that in our memory. We should not misuse the powers. Okay, so that's all about liberty. Now, third point we are going to study is equality. The preamble guarantees the Indian citizens an equality of status and opportunity. It means that all have equal human status and there will be no discrimination based on caste, creed, race, sex, place of birth, etc. Means men, women, caste wise, race wise, they are all equal. There will be no discrimination. Okay, so you have studied this point as well earlier, but it's a very important point. The guarantee of equal status means not to discriminate between people in terms of high or low, superior or inferior. The preamble has given great importance to equality of opportunity as well. All will get the opportunities for development without any discrimination. Okay, so everyone has a chance to do something that he likes or she likes. Discuss. Some statements regarding freedom have been given below for discussion. You have to express your views. While publicly celebrating our festivals, we need to follow some rules. That does not restrict our freedom. Yes, we need to follow our rules. I'm sure you all will agree with this. Freedom means behaving in a responsible way, not as per our whims and fancies. Yes, freedom of speech is not a license to abuse, to give bad words. Okay, it is a responsibility. Just because we are given freedom of speech, that doesn't mean we will say whatever and insult anyone or hurt somebody by our words. No, we have to be careful in speech. Okay, so the preamble to our constitution refers to a unique ideal or principle. It is the goal of promoting fraternity among the citizens and to assure the dignity of the individual. So, we have come to the last point of the lesson, which is fraternity. Let's see in detail what is fraternity. The makers of the constitution believed that merely guaranteeing justice, freedom, and equality would not lead to establishing equality in Indian society. No amount of laws would help us achieve these goals if fraternity is lacking among Indians. Hence, the promotion of fraternity has been included in the preamble as a goal. Fraternity implies a we feeling towards one another. It creates a feeling of empathy. People become more understanding towards each other's problems and needs. What does this tell us? That in the constitution or in the preamble, we have been told about equality, about justice, about freedom. But only those points are not enough unless and until everyone understands the importance of togetherness, of being together, the we feeling. So that is what fraternity tells us: brotherhood, fellowship, kinship, friendship, companionship, support, mutual support, solidarity, community, union, togetherness. That is the true meaning of fraternity. Okay. Fraternity is closely related to human dignity. Human dignity implies equal respect to each individual as a human being. It does not depend upon the criteria of caste, creed, race, sex, language, etc. Just as we would like to be treated with dignity and respect by others, we should also treat others with the same dignity and respect. So, fraternity tells us that respect is mutual, not one sided. If you want respect from others, you also have to treat others with respect. When every individual respects another and honors their freedom and rights, dignity of the individual will get established. In such an atmosphere, fraternity will grow automatically. The task of bringing about a new society based on the values of justice and equality will be facilitated. The preamble to the Constitution of India guides us to this very goal. The preamble ends with a mention of the fact that people of India have given the constitution to themselves. So here in the picture you can see justice, liberty, equality, fraternity are the most important points which are highlighted in our preamble. And the preamble is very important. It helps us to understand what values we must nurture as an Indian citizen. Hope you have followed this lesson. Read it, understand the concepts well. Keep learning, stay safe, and thank you.